All right. People's Convention, make some noise. What a crowd. Wow. Is everybody here having a good time? Good. So my name is Alexander Spellane. I'm the founder and CEO of a little company called Fisher Capital. And I apologize, my voice is a little shot today. It's no coincidence, though. The deep state's been trying to silence me for a long time now, so the truth is that I can't help but feel like they have something to do with that. So bear with me as I talk here. It's true, my voice is actually exhausted from speaking the truth. And when they try to cancel you the way that they've canceled so many others like James O'Keefe, Roger Stone, Mike Lindell, you start to get a little paranoid. And you start to think that maybe everything has something to do with it. So, for example, my team almost didn't make it here because the flight got canceled. And somebody said to me, it was the deep state, Alexander. They didn't want you to show up. And I said, there's no way that they canceled an entire plane just to prevent us from sharing this message with you. But then I thought to myself, maybe they might have. Maybe they did. Who knows? So I want you guys to give it up for my team. I wouldn't be here without my team. Thank you for all your hard work, working the booth. It's amazing to be able to be a part of this event. This is actually the third event that I've done that Donald Trump's been at in the past week. So I've been, arguing with a lot of liberals, and I've actually been yelling a lot. I'm usually out here where you guys are, not up here. So with that being said, I'm proud to say for the third year in a row, we are the largest corporate sponsor for Turning Point USA. And I gotta say, it really feels good to turn our profits into purpose, guys. Thank you. It also feels good, I've got a personal victory. My sister's here. Ashley, where are you? All right, stand up. Once formerly a Gen Y liberal, through our hard work, we've converted her, and I've got my family all on board now, so I love having you here. Make some noise for her. Also, Justin, thank you for being here, man. My first broker at my firm. It's amazing that you're here. He flew in from Miami to be here, so I love that. So people ask me all the time, Alexander, why have you poured so much money into Turning Point? And the answer is very simple. I have 2 young children, both under 2 years old, and I need this country to be here 10 years from now. I'm very concerned with what this is going to look like if we don't get this win. So with that being said, who's ready for Donald Trump? Who feels the shift coming? Love that. Love that. So I'm actually here to share an important message with all of you. Some of you may have heard this talk already, but this is the importance of voting with our wallets, ladies and gentlemen. And the only way we're going to defund the left is if we stop funding companies that are giving their money to liberal and woke causes that are designed to take away our freedoms and divide this country. There's so much that's at stake that we don't have control of. So we've got to focus on what we have the ability to take control of ourselves, right? You guys agree with that? Okay, good. You sound motivated too, so I'm gonna play a little game. This is actually kind of fun. I need some audience participation here. I'm gonna shout out some companies. I want you to cheer or boo, and it's okay to boo. So, Target. Starbucks. Bud Light. Freedom to owe. Awesome. What about BlackRock? Oh, BlackRock. So, Turning Point's done a great job exposing how the left has infiltrated schools, big tech, social media, big corporation, politics, and even churches. But I don't hear a lot of people talk about how they've exposed, or don't hear a lot of people talking about how the deep state and the far left has infiltrated finance. And the financial sector is where all the money is. Do you guys know that Wall Street collectively donated $74 million to Joe Biden's campaign in 2020? I like this audience, a little bit more mature of an audience than America Fest. There's a lot of young people there, right? So I see a lot of you have a retirement account, probably with a Wall Street-backed institution, So I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Who's heard of these upcoming rumors of recession? Who's been concerned about the economy in here? You guys have some concerns? I'm pretty concerned. Rightfully so, right? Bidenomics. It's terrible, guys. And I think that it's become a global problem. There's only one man who's going to be able to turn that around. That is Donald Trump. However, you got to remember, ahead of the 2008 financial crisis, we also did have a Republican in office. So it doesn't always come down to politics when it comes to these recessions. So the most important thing that you can do right now is get prepared. And Fisher Capital is prepared to help you do that. Actually, there's a promotion we have right now where you can secure up to $10,000 of free silver just by visiting our booth. I encourage you all to check that out. Who in here actually owns physical gold and silver? Can I see some hands? Good amount of people. Not enough, though. Definitely not enough. Who has heard about Saudi Arabia and the BRICS nations trying to throw our status as a world reserve currency? You know that's already in motion, right? It's true. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They've banded together with about 34 other countries that are now trading in alternative currencies to the US dollar. And it just feels as if this administration, the Biden administration, has something to do with it. It's like they purposely and intentionally created this scenario. And that's why we're really preparing and facing a global financial meltdown. There's a lot of people calling for a crisis worse than 2008. Who in here lost money back in 2008? Let me see some hands. Pretty much half the audience raised their hand. Wow. So what is different about this scenario here? What's different about this upcoming recession? I'll tell you. The risk is not just if the stock market crashes, right? The risk is actually deeper than that. The risk actually lies in the value of the US dollar. When you've got inflation this high, and when you have an administration that doesn't care about maintaining the world reserve status for the #1 currency that we trade, it's going to devastate this country. There's a lot of people talking about this actually turning into a Great Depression. One more time, let me see some hands. Who actually trusts the banks in here? Does anybody trust them? I don't see any hands for that one. Who saw the Fox News report about big banks actually flagging keywords like MAGA and Trump and Dick's Sporting Goods? You guys saw that, right? So our banks, since the January 6th insurrection, have now been targeting people. Roger Stone talks about this. Targeting you just for the donations that you make or where you shop. That is enough reason for me to want my privacy, and you got to take back ownership, because what's stopping them, if they already stole an election, what's stopping them from stealing our money or cutting us off from our money? Who knows? But if you own physical gold and silver, you can have 100% certainty that your ownership is not exposed to third-party and counterparty risk. You're never going to be separated from what you own if you take control now. And we've made that easier to do than ever. What Fisher Capital does is we actually help conservatives diversify their retirement savings specifically. And there is a process where you can actually roll over your IRA, your 401k, tax-free, penalty-free, and fee-free into a self-directed account that will allow you to hold tangible assets, decouple yourself with the risk of Wall Street, the deep state-backed institutions. And the best part about that is when you do that with Fisher Capital, you can rest well knowing that our profits are not going to some woke liberal Wall Street or deep state-backed organization. With that being said, I want to also thank our spokespeople. Roger Stone is going to be speaking. So is James O'Keefe. Really appreciate them. They're the spokespeople of our firm. And I also want to just give it up one time for truly the hardest working person I've seen in this entire movement, Charlie Kirk, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Charlie. Make some noise for Charlie Kirk. Love what he's doing. So, we have a right to take control of our finances, don't we? Thank you. And I'm prepared to help you do that alongside my team. Visit the Fisher Capital booth. These are great guys. They're hardworking patriots. They love this country. And that's why we're here for the 3rd year in a row. So thank you for having me on, ladies and gentlemen. And enjoy the rest of the event. Gear up for Donald Trump, everybody.